Hi there. Firstly, thanks very much for purchasing EDM Festival Kicks and Drops from Sample Tools by CR2 Records. My name's Larry Holcomb and I'm the in-house mixing and mastering engineer at CR2, and I also produce this pack. Now our idea is to give away some video tutorials with the pack that show you a bit of behind the scenes footage into how the sounds are created. So when you purchase a pack, you obviously get all the off-the-shelf sounds and the kick drums and the MIDI files and everything you get with our packs, but also you get a bit of an insight into how the sounds are created. So moving forward, you can actually make those sounds yourself in your own tracks. So first of all, let me apologise for the old school look of my Logic, but also, let me just say that what I'm going to show you is not specific to Logic. You can recreate this in any DAW. It's more general themes on sound design and using effects to make the sounds sound really big. So what we're going to start off doing is create the lead sound from the drop Taco Tuesday. It sounds like this. So, what I've got here is the kick drum, a little clap, the offbeat bass, and I also have the MIDI file that we give away with the pack, of course. So I have the lead sound just being played by a piano at the moment. It's not going to smash up the festival at the moment. So let's just go ahead and take Sylenth and put that on this lead sound. Okay, I'm going to go in and just initialize the patch so it's completely plain. Okay, so the moment I've got a sawtooth wave, one voice, I'm just going to try bring this down an octave. And I'm going to bring in a second oscillator and I'm going to put this onto a square wave. I can thicken the sound up by using some extra voices to kind of fatten it. I could experiment with detuning them as well. I don't want to have too much of that detuned sound. I want to keep it quite kind of clean sounding. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come into my filter types and I'm going to put it onto a bandpass filter. Bring up the resonance. Bring up the drive. Now a big part of this sound is going to be distortion. So I'm going to put it on this foldback setting in Sylenth. Sounding much more like it. Also what I want to do is hear my slide. So I'm going to put the polyphony on 1 so the lead part can only play one note at a time. And I'm just going to put this portamento up so I get the slide going on. I'm clipping my master here, so what I'm going to do is just take all my elements here and bring them down. And I'm going to activate this limiter. So I get a nice full sound without clipping the master. So obviously this sound would be nothing without sidechain compression. I'm sure we all agree with that. So I'm going to put a compressor on here and I'm going to use a VCA mode. Now what you want is a fast responsive mode, especially if you have a kick drum which has got a long decay, because it won't actually recover in between the kick drum hits. So I'm going to keep this quite fast. In my sidechain slot I'm going to add the kick drum, which is an audio track 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come down to here and I'm going to go for Sugar Bytes Wow 2 filter, which I'm a big fan of. What I'm trying to get out of this now is more distortion, more harmonics, more interest to the sound. So I'm going to put it onto a band reject setting. Now if you guys are familiar with Wow 1 or Wow 2 as well, we have this vowel mode which we can switch on down here, and it reacts really nicely to the band reject setting. I'm going to play some distortion in here, and I need to bring up the resonance as well. So distortion plays a massive part in EDM, main room house production. What you want to do is just really get the harmonics out and really make sounds that sound larger than life. And the way to do that is by generating harmonics through distortion. So that being said, I'm going to move that down and I'm going to put another distortion in here. I'm going to go for Maul from F Expansion. Now this is a multi-band distortion, so I can distort different frequencies, low, mid and high, in different ways. So I'm going to come in and put in a soft distortion setting here. I've got cut-off points, so I can change where these three frequency ranges sit. Now I'd normally spend quite a bit of time at each of these stages experimenting with the distortions, getting exactly the sound I'm looking for, but I'll leave it like that for the time being. I'm just going to bring that down because every time I add these distortions I'm adding level as well. Now what I could also do is add a little bit of movement to this sound. So I could apply an LFO, for example, on the filter cutoff here. Okay, so that's working. Now, a lot of these tracks just end up having a kick drum and a lead sound on the drop. So if that's the case, you're going to need your lead sound to really represent in the track, fill out the frequency spectrum, the stereo field, and also the depth of the track. Now, a way that you can achieve that is through reverb. So I'm just going to put this sound to bus 1 as well, and I'm going to place just a basic Logic reverb. I'm going to show you now how to use pre-delay to create a rhythmic effect with this reverb. Now, there's a website I have here called Music Calculator. Now if you come onto the delay timing tab here, it allows you to work out different beat lengths in milliseconds dependent on your tempo. Now our tempo is 128, so I can see that a 16th note is worth 117 milliseconds. I'll put that to 32, it's worth 58 milliseconds. Now if I come back to Logic, now I can put in, say, 58 in here, 58 milliseconds. That means that the reverb will be heard a 30-second note after the sound is heard that's being sent to the reverb. So let's have a little listen to what it sounds like. If I put it back to 0, and change it to 58, you can hear there's more separation. Let's try it on 117. The reverb's actually kind of become part of the groove now. What else can I do? Well, I can send my Sylenth sound to bus 2, mute that bus, and then use a sidechain compressor, sidechain to the actual sound itself, to mean that when the sound plays, the reverb is ducking in volume. It can help the sound be differentiated from the reverb and also help it punch through. Reverb time's a little bit long. I can also use my music calculator to calculate different reverb times as well. What else can I do? Well, there's nothing stopping me sidechaining the reverb to the kick drum as well. Just copied that across from the Sylenth channel. Last up, I could add some EQ to this. What I don't want to do is to be adding frequencies that are going to clash with the kick. So I could take out some of the low end, which I want to keep for my kick. And also sometimes some of the high end getting rolled off allows the actual sound that's reverberating to kind of cut through a little bit more, and it helps to distinguish it from the reverb. Okay, so the sound's not exactly the same as it is in the Taco Tuesday, but these are the techniques that I use to achieve that sound. Hopefully you found that useful and you can use that in your own production. Thanks for watching.